I said, yo, what up YouTube? My name is Raap. This is Raap on Point, and welcome back. But if you're new to the channel, how you doing? Thank you for being here. We are back at AZ's channel to check out another DBD content because y'all know I can't get enough of his videos. They're amazing. Homie is dope. And before I tell y'all what video I'm gonna check out, I want to say thank you and much love to everybody that's been tuning in, supporting your man Raap by either dropping a like, subscriber, and even dropping a comment. Your support means the world to me, and I thank y'all for joining me on this journey to get to my milestone. And yo, y'all the best. Also, look, man, I'm gonna drop AZ's channel link in the description in case you're not subscribed, along with my DBD family. If you want to support the channel even further, my membership link will be down there, my emails, my socials, all of that, man. But yo, enough talk. We know what time it is. If you dig it and you with it, let me know, because we about to get into this video. So let's go. Alright y'all, so we are here ready to check what every Dead by Daylight killer is based on. I did notice he has an updated version, so I'm gonna check this one out first, and then I'm gonna head over and check out the other one. But yo, let's go.
Hey everyone, today we're looking at the killers of Dead by Daylight and trying to see what they may have been inspired by. There's some obvious ones of course, as some of them are literally licensed, but mostly for the original characters, let's try and draw out what could have been the inspiration. So first off we have Trapper. Now Trapper is a fairly straightforward case as he greatly resembles the Friday the 13th character of Jason.
I was gonna say that people be saying, well, back then, I mean, Trapper has much more respect now than he had back then, but I recall people back then saying that he was like a discount Jason, this, that, and the third. But yo, Trapper's dope, man. I respect Trapper. He's a cool killer.
Jason Voorhees. Machete-esque weapon, big hulking body, and a similar whitish mask. There's clearly some inspiration from this character, but arguably one of the main differences is the mask. A key defining part of Jason is his mask, and same for Trapper. Trapper's is a bone mask, where Jason's is a hockey mask.
Yes.
The closest thing and the possible visible inspiration for Trapper's mask is the killer named Babyface from the film The Hills Run Red, who has...
Wait, really? I think I've seen this movie. Babyface? Wait, wasn't there like a Babyface mask in like Valentine's Day Massacre or some shit like that? It was like a literal Babyface.
The closest thing and the possible visible inspiration for Trapper's mask is the killer named Babyface from the film The Hills Run Red, who has a mask that looks eerily similar to that of Trapper's, especially evident in the jaw area where the mouth upturns in a similar way, and the teeth lining it also look quite similarly structured. For Wraith, it's primarily speculated that Wraith is actually directly inspired by death itself, as in the Grim Reaper, or that kind of imagery. This is due to Wraith's name having big ties to death, the definition of Wraith being an apparition of a living person supposed to portend his or her death, with similar words being spirit or phantom, which again are all ghostly words that indicate the thing being talked about is dead. There's also of course his weapon, which holds the skull of his boss Azhymovs. The Grim Reaper is often shown to have a skull for a face or head. This isn't quite the same, but hey, maybe Wraith is meant to be more one of Death's envoys or something, and not Death itself. Finally, Wraith's bell is a key indicator in relaying this death idea, as it could symbolize a death doll. Visually, aside all this, he seems to have some kind of inspiration drawn from general woodland creatures, maybe like an ent-human mix, due to the fact that his body seems to have been combined with a tree. I'm not too sure. I tried to search for different things in that vein, and I couldn't really find anything specific other than general woodland fantasy-esque humanoid creatures. There's potential that Wraith is based on Predator, due to the stealth features and tracking mainly. Also,
Predator? Nah, Predator? I don't know about that. It would be dope to have Predator in the killer roster though for DBD though. What's up, man? Yo, behavior, what y'all doing?
one of his perks literally being called Predator. There's further similarities with ripping out spines or claiming trophies. So yeah, possibly that too. Hillbilly. It's basically confirmed that Hillbilly is based on Leatherface or Bubba Sawyer from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre films. They share a very similar history, set in a very similar time period, and of course their main shared feature is the chainsaw. For Nurse, Nurse is probably based on the nurses from Silent Hill. They have the same janky kind of movement, it's quite stiff, similar-ish weapons. Yep, overall some of them look pretty similar. This is totally possible too, as of course we have an actual Silent Hill license in the game now. behavior could have been taking inspiration from their designs for sure. There's tons of instances in the real world of nurses and doctors mercy killing patients, or just killing a bunch of them also, which is kind of what Sally does in her lore, so this is likely the basis for the nurse as a whole. Her blinks remind me a lot of the ability from Dishonored, also named Blinks, which propel the character forward a short distance and consume mana. The hand movements look very similar to me also. There's probably a bunch of different examples of an ability like this in tons of different games though, but that's what came to mind for me.
Alright.
Next up we have The Shape. Michael Myers is based on the original 1978 Halloween.
Obviously.
That's the film. This excludes the sequels, I believe, and goes with the chronology of the new reboots. Nice, simple one there. For Hag is a strange one because she doesn't really directly resemble anything a lot like Wraith. They both have these branchy, NT kind of looks. The best bet for Hag though is the Wendigo. Not so much of the iterations you've likely seen in games like Until Dawn, but more of a Canadian folklore version of the...
And the Wendigo, aren't they mostly like in forest or swamp-like environments? Let me know in the comments if y'all know.
Wendigo, where it's described like this. The Wendigo is part of the traditional belief system of a number of Algonquin-speaking peoples, including the Ojibwe, the Saulteaux, the Cree, the Naskapi, and the Innu. Although descriptions can vary somewhat, common to all these cultures is the view that the Wendigo is a malevolent, cannibalistic, supernatural being, so lines up so far with the Hag. They were strongly associated with winter, the north, coldness, famine, and starvation. Hag is starved in her lore. Further, a description of the Wendigo. The Wendigo was gaunt to the point of emaciation. Its desiccated skin pulled tightly over its bones, with its bones pushing out against its skin. Its complexion, the ash grey of death, and its eyes pushed back into their sockets. The Wendigo looked like a gaunt skeleton recently disinterred from the grave. What lips it had were tattered and bloody, unclean and suffering from suppuration of the flesh. The Wendigo gave off a strange and eerie odor of decay and decomposition, of death and corruption. So yeah, that basically all lines up in visual appearance and lore-wise, so I think that's probably the case for the Hag. Okay, on to Doctor. Doctor is a super messed up inspiration, at least it's pretty likely this is the case. We know.
Alright, y'all, let me move myself real quick so y'all could, you see, if y'all want to pause it and read that, go for it. I'm not going to read it. I'm going to let Z or AZ do the talking because he's on point right now. But, yeah, you know, I took myself out the way in case y'all want to read it. But, yo, we back and let's continue.
That Doctor was originally going to be from Asia, or the chapter was going to be based in China, which makes more sense with Feng being Chinese also. There was a real Chinese doctor who experimented into electrotherapy on internet-obsessed kids.
Yo!
Again, like Feng is, she's an esports player. I don't really want to go too far into it, you can search it up if you're interested, but Doctor is likely based on this real-life case of a doctor attempting to cure internet-obsessed kids in his clinic with use of electroshock therapy.
Damn!
His clinic, much like Larry's, was more like a prison. Okay, on to Huntress. Huntress is kind of a strange one as she seems to be a big mix of different things. Likely she is inspired by different Russian folklore of people living out in forests. There were
Alright, I'm gonna do the same over here in case y'all wanna read it. Y'all wanna pause it, do y'all thing. I'm out the way. Bada bing, bada boom, and we back. Alright, but yo, I love Huntress, man. She gets annoying when she like hits you, but hey, that's her shit, man. She gonna hit you with the axe. But let's proceed, baby.
other things I found too, like the fact she could be inspired by general werewolf culture. This could explain the higher strength level, higher alertness, and sensitivity of senses. Bloodhound, Territorial Imperative, both wolf-related things also, their images at least. She also has a general wolf vibe from some masks. Potentially she's a Volkalak vampire. This would explain the black eyes. I'm more inclined to think she's a werewolf, as strange as that sounds, or inspired by werewolf lore. Also, there's a little bonus in that her mask could be from the spider splicers in Bioshock. My impression is that Huntress is a huge mesh of folklore, werewolves, and originality. The lullaby she sings is also a Russian one called Bayushki Bayu, which is a lullaby from Russia that means...
That's interesting, yo. I'm gonna go back a little bit, but that's interesting, yo.
My impression is that Huntress is a huge mesh of folklore, werewolves, and originality. The lullaby she sings is also a Russian one called Bayushki Bayu, which is a lullaby from Russia that means sleep my darling, sleep my baby, close your eyes and sleep. Next up we have kind of a streak of licensed characters. So Baba is based on Leatherface or Baba Sawyer from the original 1974 The Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yes.
Nightmare again is just based on a film, which is the 2010 reimagining of A Nightmare on Elm Street's Freddy Krueger. The pig, or Amanda Young in-game, is a version of her based on the original Saw version of herself. to the best of my understanding. I've never actually watched the Saw films, I'm sorry.
What? AZ! You haven't seen the Saw films? Yo, the first one is a classic. That plot twist at the... No spoilers. No spoilers, but my dude, you sleep, man. Damn.
Clown, a lot of people jump to conclusions with Clown and probably say Pennywise from Stephen King's It is the inspiration. The thing I don't like about this comparison too much though is that one is an almost godlike creature and the other is just a creepy dude. The better comparison would be to say the entity may be inspired by Pennywise instead of the clown being inspired by it. I cite them both being clowns visually, they aren't really similar at all. The clown is probably based on real life occurrences with similar things happening. I'll put some up on screen and you can read them, but it's just kinda unpleasant and eerie when it comes.
Oh, my bad, y'all. Let me move out the way. But, John Wayne Gacy? Oh, hell nah. Imagine? That would be crazy. But did homie really chop off fingers and suck on them? Pause? That's crazy, man.
Comes to real world stuff, so I'd rather give you guys the option of looking more into it yourself. It's probably based on this though. For Spirit, Spirit is likely based on the Onryo, which literally translates to vengeful spirit in Japanese, which is basically what our in-game spirit is. They are believed to be capable of causing harm in the world of the living, injuring or killing enemies, or even causing natural disasters to exact vengeance to readdress the wrongs it received while alive, then taking their spirits from their dying bodies. Again, very similar description to how Spirit's whole vibe works in game. She's super mad about her dad killing her, and it's her rage which gets her chosen by the entity and drives her to be vengeful. Also, these Onryos look really similar to how Spirit does, so. Legion. My immediate thought was maybe some kind of inspiration from the Purge films. Same kind of mask vibe. The series also has a lot of this. I don't know, I think they're pretty similar. It's kind of hard because they're just physically quite normal, with their most defining feature being they're not all too defining masks. Legion could also be based on the Sunny Family Cult from the Sunny Family Cult series, or possibly the film The Strangers, with similar looking characters. There's honestly like a ton of different places where these could have come from. They're probably just original. Plague. Plague is likely based on just a priestess from ancient Babylonia. That's honestly most likely just it. There was a plague that spread through Babylon, but I don't think the times lined up quite the same as the time period of our plague character in game. I also...
Actually, y'all, my bad, y'all. Let me go back so I can read that in case y'all want to read that. You know, like y'all could pause this and y'all could read it, alright? I don't want to be in the way of some good information, so... Alright. Let's get on with it.
Up quite the same as the time period of our plague character in game. I also found a forum post from someone called Blue Diamond who said it could be this character from the film Suicide Squad. They do look pretty similar. Okay, for Ghostface. Ghosty is an odd combination of different versions of Ghostface from Scream, but also some originality from behavior it seems in creating his character. I was super confused by all this, so I watched this Pixelbush video on it. You should go watch it. Basically, Ghosty takes the Ghostface mask, and then behavior has taken inspiration from the film for their Ghostface version, I think, because the license they bought is only actually for the mask and not Scream itself. Demogorgon. Demo seems to be just the Stranger Things Season 1 iteration of the character. It's large in-game, so I'm pretty sure it's meant to be that over the smaller demo dogs that we see in Season 2. The Season 1 demo is also the creature originally referred to as a Demogorgon. Oni. Onis are from Japanese folklore. The word Oni, when translated, is something like demon or ogre. They are described as the greatest icons of Japanese folklore. Depictions of Oni vary widely, but usually portray them as hideous, gigantic, ogre-like creatures with sharp claws, wild hair, and 2 long horns growing from their heads. They are humanoid for the most part, but occasionally they are shown with unnatural features such as odd numbers of eyes or extra fingers and toes. Their skin may be any number of colors, but red and blue are particularly common. They wear loincloths made of the pelts of great beasts. All Oni possess extreme strength and constitution, and many of them are also accomplished sorcerers. They are ferocious demons, bringers of disaster, spreaders of disease, and punishers of the damned in hell. Further, they often carry kanabos. Yep, that's it, I'd say. That pretty much entirely encapsulates the Oni look and whole vibe. Death Slinger. Generally, Slinger is likely just based on the many stories of the Wild West and dangerous bounty hunters. There was a forum post I found from someone called Zaitsev suggesting it was very visually similar to a preacher character named Saint of Killers. They do look similar, but that could just be because they're both going for a cowboy type vibe. Potentially it's based on the Stephen King novel.
But wait, hold on. It's interesting that homie got a scarf. The hat isn't too similar, but I mean, they do look similar as fuck, homie. Damn!
Both going for a cowboy type vibe. Potentially it's based on the Stephen King novel The Gunslinger. Pretty similar. Personally, I think it's just Behavior's own spin on an outlaw type.
Okay.
Maybe due to him being a genius inventor, he could be somewhat inspired by Doc Brown in Back to the Future Part 3. Okay, Executioner. Pyramid Head, I believe, is his Silent Hill 2 iteration. The powers seem to be changed to fit gameplay more, but visually they're pretty similar. Possibly some inspiration from the films too. Blight. Blight is pretty unclear, honestly. His visual appearance has a zombie kind of vibe, but that's too broad really. However, it's been confirmed by the Behavior design team, I believe, that he is based on Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, which is effectively a story about two sides of the same person,
What?
Jekyll and Hyde. One's good, one's evil.
Alright.
For the Blight, I believe the idea is that he was good before, but the Pustula Serum brings out the evil, drug-addicted side of him, who wants more orange plant. Twins. I honestly have no idea. The kicker for the twins, though, is that really they aren't killers prior to being taken. It's more self-defense as they're hunted. So really, these two could just be a look at how society used to do horrendous things like burn people for having conjoined twins and call them witches and stuff. I think it's more just to look at something more historical like that than anything else. The inspiration for this killer apparently came about because the devs wanted to implement a smaller killer somehow. Originally Charlotte was pregnant with Victor, but they changed it to conjoined twins to make it a little less polarized.
That would have been interesting for Charlotte to like be pregnant, but why didn't they just put Chucky in the game? I would like to see Chucky in the game. Let me know in the comments if y'all would like to see Chucky in the game. I know one of my good friends, my DBD homegirl, Gatita Squad. Yes, he said, nah, she would quit DBD if they put Chucky in the game. I hope that's not the case, but I think it would be funny if we could get Chucky and I forget his girlfriend's name. Isn't it like Tiffany or some shit? But yo, I think it would be funny.
I guess. Finally, we have Trickster. Trickster is more than likely based on Jared Leto's Joker and just a general K-pop style look. This was even confirmed, I think, the whole Joker connection. They, of course, have just a similar style visually, and yeah, that's it. I do hope you enjoyed. I might do one for survivors. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.
Alright, y'all, so like I said, I did see an updated version to this, so yo, let's just get to that right now. Let's go. Alright, y'all, we're here with the updated version. This is a shorter one. It's like 5 minutes and 24 seconds, so let's go.
Hey everyone, today we're looking at the killers of Dead by Daylight and trying to see what they may have been inspired by. This is an update on the original video, but now with all of your comments in mind and put into the mix. Last video we outlined that Trapper greatly resembles the Friday the 13th character of Jason Voorhees, with his mask potentially being inspired by Babyface from the film The Hills Run Red. Further suggestions you guys pointed out were the killer from My Bloody Valentine, as both are minors.
Okay, that's the one I was thinking about. What the fuck did I say? The Valentine's Day Massacre? No, that's the one I was talking about. My Bloody Valentine. Yes! Yes!
Bloody Valentine, as both are minors prior to becoming killers, Kane from See No Evil and The Collector. It's speculated Wraith is inspired by the Grim Reaper, or that kind of imagery, with some inspiration from woodland creatures potentially, maybe like an Ent-human mix. And finally on Predator, due to the stealth features and tracking related power, with one of his perks being called Predator also. Some of your suggestions were inspirations from Dante's Inferno, The Hollow, Dracula, Phantom of the Opera, The Invisible Man, and possibly some voodoo legend. For Hillbilly, I said last time he was based on Leatherface or Bubba Sawyer from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre films. However, you guys outlined some much better relations, the main ones being from The Hills Have Eyes and also Wrong Turn. Nurse is probably based on the nurses from Silent Hill. I think this was pretty much agreed on within the comments, but some other ideas were the nurse, La Llorona, and the hanging woman from...
Did you just say La Llorona? La Llorona? I don't blame you, bro. I know you see two L's, but in a Spanish culture, when you see two L's, it's actually like a Y. So it's La Llorona. Alright? La Llorona. La Llorona just sounds wild, bro. But I don't blame you, AZ. You keep doing you, brother.
La Llorona and the hanging woman from 13 Ghosts. The shape is based on Michael Myers from the original 1978 Halloween. Hag is probably based on the Canadian folklore version of the Wendigo, There were some other ideas too, such as the witch from Pumpkinhead. The Blair Witch was a big one also, with the connection of the symbols especially. The Birch, which actually just came out in game, Left 4 Dead witches, and hags from Dungeons and Dragons. Doctor is likely based on this real life case of a doctor attempting to cure internet obsessed kids in his clinic with use of electroshock therapy. His clinic, much like Larry's, was more like a prison. There were also relations in the comments made to the dentist, Dr. Giggles, and the surgeon from Hellraiser. A lot of people mentioned inspiration also for his background from the MK Ultra projects. Huntress is inspired by different Russian and European folklore such as the Baba Yaga, as well as stories of people living out in forests, or potentially some form of werewolf. I was also corrected that this perk was a bear and not a wolf. Some great correlations were made also to Your Next, Holidays, Jackals, and Pet Cemetery. Bubba is based on Leatherface, or Bubba Sawyer, from the original 1974 The Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Nightmare Again is just based on a film, which is the 2010 reimagining of A Nightmare on Elm Street's Freddy Krueger.
Yeah.
The pig, or Amanda Young, is based on her appearances from Saw 1, 2, 3, seemingly a combination from all of the films. The clown is likely based on real-life occurrences with similar things happening. You guys further mentioned the House of 1000 Corpses and Spawn. Potentially also the Joker, just power-wise, mainly because of his bottles and the gas and whatnot. Spirit is likely based on the Onryo, which literally translates to vengeful spirit from Japanese. Some movies referenced in the comments were The Ring and The Grudge, however these are likely also based on the Onryo, potentially the Mama movie too. There are many ideas for the Legion's inspiration, some of them being The Purge, Sunny Family Cult, The Strangers, Jeff the Killer, Happy Death Day, or Behavior's take on Scream's Ghostface. Plague is likely
Yo, Happy Death Day. Wait, oh no, what'd I do? Who's seen this movie? And it's funny because I thought this was the Babyface and My Bloody Valentine. Yo, I got the movies mixed up, but I've seen this. This is actually a pretty good movie, alright? If you haven't checked it out, I'd say it's pretty cool. It's aight.
Scream's Ghostface. Plague is likely simply based on a priestess from ancient Babylonia, or what many people mentioned was that Behavior likely wanted to get a general mummy design. Also mentioned were the mummy and the demon from The Exorcist, likely due to the plague or sickness element. Ghosty is an odd combination of different versions of Ghostface from Scream, but also some originality from Behavior, taking the Ghostface mask and then inspiration from the Scream films for an original Ghostface character. Demogorgon is based on its Stranger Things Season 1 iteration. Onis are from Japanese folklore. The word Oni when translated is something like demon or ogre. Slinger is potentially based on a preacher character named Saint of Killers, or Doc Brown in Back to the Future Part 3 as a genius inventor. You will also mention Jeepers Creepers, Alone in the Dark 3, House 2, and some big ones were Micah Bell from Red Dead Redemption 2, and also Caleb from the game Blood. Executioner. Pyramid Head is his Silent Hill 2 iteration. Blight is based on Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Further suggestions were Reanimator, The Village, Penguin from Batman Returns.
Reanimator fits perfect. Yo, Penguin. How the fuck Penguin? I guess. But yo, Reanimator because of the fucking the substance, that green gooey shit or whatever it is, man. That is crazy. Classic movie over here, man. Classic movie.
The Village, Penguin from Batman Returns, the Cordyceps virus from The Last of Us, also from Batman, the Scarecrow, as well as the Volatiles from Dying Light. For twins, I was stumped last time on this one, but the best one I found being repeated in the comments was that of Basket Case. Also Impactor from The Dana, Castor and Pollux from God of War, and the X-Files Humbug or The Host episodes. Trickster is likely based on Jared Leto's Joker, or some ideas you came up with were Ichi the Killer, or possibly Loki as the trickster god who likes knives. Alright, well that's gonna do it. I do hope you enjoyed this quicker updated version, and thank you for all your comments. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.
Let's go! Alright, chat, so I'm going to end the video right there. Please let me know what you think about what AZ was talking about. Do you agree with the similarities between the movie references to the character? Like, do y'all really agree with all that? There's some I don't. Like, the penguin one. Like, what the fuck? Penguin? The Penguin? But yo, AZ's always coming out with some dope shit. I know that he uploaded something 2 days ago. I might react to that tomorrow. And yo, like I said earlier in the video, man, salutes to everybody that's been tuning into the channel, supporting me by dropping a like, subscribing, a comment. And yo, man, thank you for joining me on this journey to reach my milestone. Please don't forget to hit the notification bell so you don't miss an upload and want to go live. Please follow my DBD family in the description. If you're not subscribed to AZ, his channel link will be down there as well. If you would like to support the channel, become a member. Link will be down there. If you want to throw me a message or like a DM, y'all can hit me up on my socials. That will be down there. And yeah, man, that's it, man. I appreciate every single one of you. I hope you guys are keeping the positive vibes up and the negative shit out. And yo, man, just take care of yourselves, all right? Because life is crazy. I appreciate y'all once again. Stay safe, stay blessed. Always rap on point. Wash your hands, wash your ass. Peace and unity. Till next time, adios.